So over the last couple of months, the idea of there being a best server has been around, and today I wanted to see which one is truly the best. On my channel, I posted a poll on would you rather, and the Hive won with 64% of votes, CubeCraft with 21%, other with 15%. Most of the comments said Nether Games, but since Nether Games is not a featured server, I won't be including it today, but we could label it as the best non-featured server. So the ranking system works like this. Number 1 spot will be 3 points, number 2 spot will be 2, third spot will be 1 point, and fourth spot will count as 0 points. I will find my conclusion based off of 5 topics. Number 1 being variability. Now when you get on the Hive, first thing you're going to see are 15 game modes that are all accessible to play. Plus, there's a huge castle with the Hive logo out in front. Not only is there that, but there's a hub parkour. Alright, when you load into CubeCraft, you'll see the CubeCraft logo with the huge city building right there, and it has a total of 10 game modes. So not quite as much as the Hive, but still up there. When you load into Lifeboat, you'll see this huge 11 years sign, which is wonderful. Congrats to Lifeboat for being online that long. In total, there's 12 game modes, and it's actually more than CubeCraft. Alright, so when you load into Mineville, there's also a 10-year anniversary, so congratulations to them for some of the longest servers on Bedrock Edition. So Mineville only has 9 games, including the in-mini game hub. Since CubeCraft also has the parkour, technically it has 11, so Mineville barely lost to CubeCraft. So you guys might be wondering, hey, what about Galaxite and Enchanted Dragons? Well, do I really have to explain myself to you? Alright, so next on our list is ping. So ping is actually something that's really important when it comes to servers, because nobody likes to play on a laggy server. Starting with the Hive, the current ping is 72, which is honestly the average ping for most servers, so I don't know how well that's gonna do. CubeCraft, we have a 50 ping beating Hive. So next we have Lifeboat, which is actually at 75 ping currently, and it just dropped down to 67, which is in fact better than the Hive. And the Hive is staying at a consistent 71 ping. So next we have Mineville, which is actually tied with the Hive currently. So next up on our list for number 3, we have accessibility to new players. Now for Hive's thing, I think it's pretty simple. You have the pet for cosmetic, global locker, and it says it right there when you switch to them, and then party, and then the game selector. And now the menu, when you go into the game selector, is really nice and easy to navigate where you're going and what you want to do. And hey, Mr. Desmond. When you load into the CubeCraft for new players, I think it's actually way easier to tell what you're doing with your games. And there's even lobbies to switch to. And even the friends menu, it's super nice and it's easy for new players to navigate. I feel like just off of these two, I would know what I'm doing. And although it's the hub spawn doesn't look as clean, I'd say it does deserve first place on this one. Right, so loading into Lifeboat, it is pretty simple. I feel like this isn't as clean as Hive or CubeCraft when you go to your game selector, and it's just a little bit more complicated. I really like the titles, but it's just not well enough to compete with CubeCraft and the Hive. Okay, now Mineville, I think the minigames is just like CubeCraft. Easy to know it's the minigames. The only thing separating it is how the minigames are labeled. There's no pictures or anything. It's a little bit harder. It's just not as nice as CubeCraft, but I will have to put this in 3rd place because how well it was made. So number 4 is actually going to be based off of Bedwars. And you might be like, what? Everyone wants to play Bedwars, so you want the highest quality of Bedwars that you can possibly find. For number 1, we obviously have Hive. Like, just look at the hub spawn. Just look how nice and clean it is. For number 2, we have Lifeboat Bedwars. And I know that this is kind of biased, but I need a number 4, guys. Like, come on. Now, the reason this is at number 2 is because it doesn't have solos, and it's just not as clean as Hive Bedwars. So, Mineville actually doesn't have Bedwars, so I'm sorry. You get last place for this one. And coming in 3rd place is Lifeboat. And I know Mineville didn't have Bedwars, whatever. Lifeboat Bedwars is just, it's nice and all, but it's just not as clean, and the shop is just a little bit different, which is a good thing, but it's just not what I'm looking for. So, coming in at topic number 5, the last subject is opinion. For me, obviously Hive is going at number 1, but for you it could be CubeCraft or Lifeboat or Mineville or even other games. So Hive ended up tying with CubeCraft for 8 points. Lifeboat got second place with 6 points, and Mineville ended up losing by 6 points and ended up in third place with only 2 points. Now, at the end of the day, this is all just your opinion, so it doesn't matter which server is actually the best. Just keep enjoying the ones you guys love to play. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.